Oh, hello. Welcome. Good evening. Good afternoon. Maybe even good morning for some of you all, depending where you live. Max, probably. But in the high mountains of Alaska. But thanks for tuning in. This is another week, actually, this is a big monumental week. I'm so hyped to talk about everything today. We are 1 week into the panels Kickstarter, and we're 75% funded for like a huge goal of $3,000. So thank you guys for
Nice.
supporting the project, for sharing it, for just talking about it in general. Even the small donations we've seen, they mean so much in a Kickstarter. So we really, really thank our community for backing us up on this one. And we're just like less than 750 away from hitting goal. And then we'll start announcing all the cool extra stuff we're going to be giving you guys just for hitting goal. But well, it's the Comics Wellspring live drawing show, Spilled Ink, where we're spilling ink and spilling the tea. And of course, I'm your host, Brandon Bloxdorf, and with me is my amazing, astonishing, slightly bloody-handed co-host, Max
Yes.
Flowers. Hello, Max.
Hello. It's
Were you like
true.
boxing, like you're just training in the background, and you just like
Ah,
you're getting bloody
yeah,
knuckles?
dude, definitely. Yeah, I beat somebody up on the way here.
A lot of Daredevil stuff right now, like. Well, and we have two reigning returning guests that I'm so hyped and excited to, of course, always hang out with. Our returning, weekly guest, honestly, Dom is probably like a co-host at this point, the way he hangs out with us. So thank you for tuning in again, Dom from Life on Saturn.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, always good to have you on. Always great conversations, and it's always just fun looking at your drawing. So I appreciate you being here. And we have a last minute filler who saved the day, Mr. Aaron Z. Lee, Pens and Pedals on Instagram, drawing some robots and cute girls. So let's
That,
hello, Aaron.
that's right. That's me, Aaron Zelee. Staying on brand. Yep. And I was ready to
Dude,
ink today too, so it was actually perfect too because I have a lot of pencils and I got to ink. So here we go.
mm, nice, dude. I'm so hyped to talk to you about, especially your process on inking digitally. That's going to be really interesting to kind of dive into a bit.
Oh yeah, how much
Um,
time you got?
we got 2 hours. Uh, and we haven't seen each other. Well, we saw each other, met. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If it was the first time that we met at IC3, right?
We met last year at IC3, but we definitely saw each other again at IC3 this year too.
Okay, so last year was when we got connected then, and then this year we actually like knew each other like friends. Like we're high. Like we
Yeah, it was
recognize each
basically
other
like it's
completely.
you, and you're like it's you, and it's like
Yeah,
okay, we got to do stuff.
dude. Yeah, that was. I mean, talk about the craziest con ever. Trying to say hi to everybody, because everyone there are our friends essentially.
Yeah, I left my table way too much. Like, luckily I had some buddies who could like cover my table because I would just see somebody's tag, like their name on their tag, and I'd be like, "You!" Like, there's this guy Michael Batista who's super nice,
Oh
and
yeah.
I've followed him online for years and years and years, but I saw his name tag, I was like, "It's you!" And so then like when I got a chance to like sneak away and like go find where he was, I ended up talking with him for like 15, 20 minutes, and I'm like, "Well, I should probably get back to my table now."
Dude, vibes. Yeah, that's that whole week. You're just like, so you got to catch up to people, and you got to want to just like make memories, and like, I don't know, it's such a vibe. It's like when you're a kid and it's a 5-year-old's birthday and you're at Peter Piper or something, and you're just trying to run around and catch up to everybody. We have Rich but not wealthy saying hello there. Everyone is already spilling ink expertly. Thank you, my dude. Thanks for tuning
Hey,
in.
Rich.
Just a little roundtable. Max, what are you working on tonight?
I'm working on the same comic I was last time. Just a little 4-panel comic strip. But tonight I want to get all the pencils done for sure and all the letters done, and then we'll start inking and see how far we get there.
Yeah, it
Nice.
looks awesome.
Yeah, I think fingers crossed, but I think I might finish inking. We'll see though.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I found my freaking Ames lettering guide, which if you watched last episode, you know how much of a mess that was. But I freaking found it.
One
Oh
of
yeah.
three.
Yes, yeah. This is the college branded one. This is from
Oh, nice.
college that my parents went to.
So they
Oh,
all
that's
don't look the
cool.
same.
They all look the same, but some of them don't have there's like a little very translucent mark right here.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Super cool. I have my actually so like I'm working on a new page than did last week. I wish I could pull up the page I had last week. It's downstairs. Maybe I'll run down there and show you guys. But I finished that. I inked it. I'm gonna scan it and get it colored in soon. But I started working on a new page and I started figuring out like a new process behind it to kind of make it a little bit, I guess, cleaner and better. So I like drew out my panels on these separate sheets of paper. And now I'm just gonna go and lightbox them on my 11 by 17, and then I'm gonna just ink them over that. But I wanted to clean up the
Oh,
pencils,
cool.
that, so I'm basically just going over my thumbnails, like a bit more fleshed out.
Yes, that's
Um,
a very cool method to do that. I mean, it's essentially the analog version of doing your pencils digitally and then like printing out your blue lines, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought about going straight to inks, which I think I will once I get more confidence in it. But I wanted to figure out if this method even worked before I did that. Um, but I think in the future I'm gonna feel better just going straight to inks about this. I did mess up some measurements because of how I did some gridding, but other than that, I think this is gonna work out pretty great.
Well, you have the flexibility to move it around too if you're light boxing, you know?
Yeah, that
So,
too.
I mean, like the light box is essentially analog digital art. It's pretty funny. Just your ability to like resize and move stuff around and
Hmm.
go over stuff and play with like opacity. I mean, it's essentially what digital does.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think it's gonna benefit this page a lot more than my first page. I learned a lot doing my first page. And what's the quote? Like it takes your first like 100 pages before you like really make some strides. So I'm one down.
There you go. I don't
99
even
pages
know.
of blue line on the wall, 99 pages of blue
Yeah.
line. Tom, what are you working on tonight?
So I'm on page 14 of book 2 of Hunter Duck.
Ooh, nice. I'm hyped about that.
Yeah, there's
I'm
20,
actually very
24
hyped about that.
pages, but I'm 24 pages, but I'm on page 14. Yeah.
Did we talk about maybe putting that out under Apollo? Was that in my imagination or is that
Yes,
something else?
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
And
yeah, that is it.
my dream is to put it out as a big book, like as big as 11 by 17 as we can get. But you know, I could settle for magazine size or something bigger than a comic book.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I would love that. I love that. We'll talk more about that because Hunter Duck is so cool, dude. Like, man, I have
Yeah, appreciate it.
the drawing you made me. I have it on my bulletin board of notes and drawings I get in the mail from creators. So
Oh hell yeah.
it's there. Ooh. And Aaron, you said you're inking a page today. What is it for a book? What are you working on?
So I'm working on like Halloween special for Was of the Robot. I've been working on bits and pieces of it for a few years. I was gonna I penciled it all digitally, but I was gonna print it out and do it traditionally. But this past week or so, I got notified that I won a lottery for SPX. So like I switched over to digital inking because I was like I want to have like a brand new 24-page comic in time for SPX, which is like September 13th and 14th. So it just helps
Oh,
me work a
cool.
little bit faster. Yeah, I mean I love both.
I didn't get into SPX this year, which I'm actually really okay with financially, but um I'm gonna be swinging by for sure, so that's gonna be really rad. Oh yeah.
Nice.
How much for tables for SPX, if you don't mind
It's
me asking?
195 for half a table and 400 for a whole table.
Oof, yeah. So I am okay with that financially. I
Yeah,
would
I'm
have
just
probably
thinking
done a
that.
full table. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, I can see that.
Yeah, I did a half table at Rice and some other things, and I think I can work. I think I work with that. I got this great old book rack from a science teacher who was retiring. She's like, "Does anybody want this?" And I was down in a room like almost before the email was sent, like getting it. So I can just put all my books there. And I have this.
Sick.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then I've got this this watercolor set that my wife got me that where all the colors kind of fan out. I don't know if you've ever seen those. Oh, it's probably around here somewhere. But like you can just hold it in one hand and have all the colors just out in like a fan. And I can do like commissions and just kind of like paint in front of my table, which, you know, any kind of spectacle you can make, you know, gets people to be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" So that's my latest gimmick.
That's rad. That's super cool, dude. Also finding ways to like be productive at a table, especially on the slow times sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Try to create some excitement or something.
yeah, gauge some interest. Some people are just hyped and they want to buy whatever you're working on right then and there too.
Yeah. I have had that happen. I found all these old paintings I did probably over 10 years ago of like famous people named David.
Oh,
And
cool.
I sold a bunch of them a long time ago, like a David Byrne one, David Bowie, David Lynch. And the one that didn't sell was David Cronenberg. And so I just
Oh,
found him in
wow.
my basement. Yeah, I love David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
And I found it's this big oval painting in this big like gaudy gold frame. And I just put it at the top of my book rack. So like David Cronenberg is just staring at the people at the con. And
That's awesome.
I had a bunch of people come up and be like, "Is that David Cronenberg?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, man!" And then just like I sold books to those people, so it worked.
Oh, sick. I mean, that's the way to do it.
I was taking pictures of him at
Especially.
yeah.
Oh no, go for it. Go for it. I was just gonna
I
ramble.
was taking pictures of him because I was at a lot of shows at universities in my area, like Syracuse University and RIT. And I took pictures of him next to their big signs for the colleges. So it was David Cronenberg's college tour.
Oh wow.
It was fun.
Dude, stuff like that. That's how you get people into stuff for one, because they question it, they don't know what it is.
Yeah,
But also the people who do know, you're just like, oh, we're friends. Like
yeah,
nobody else got this, but you and a
that's right.
handful of people, like we're buddies.
That's right. Oh, but
The tr-
yeah, it's a Halloween special. He's gonna get a costume, and they're gonna go trick or treating.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's great. My big old nose was in the camera. There you go.
There was
Nice.
there's an artist I really like. He's an animation director, David Hartman. Who he did a book. Let's see where it's at.
David Hartman's awesome.
Yeah, I love
that
this stuff. This was a Zoop thing, I think. Ghosts,
Oh,
a Halloween special. So I mean, I think I supported this a long time ago, but when I finally got this, I was like, yes, I also need to do a Halloween special. And here I am.
dude. It's like something that doesn't get old either. You know what I mean? Like nobody is
Yeah.
ever going to be like, there's too many Halloween specials out there. You're just like,
That's right.
there's too many at once, maybe, but there's never too many Halloween specials. Like you got to decide. That's where it gets overwhelming.
Yeah, there's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm so hyped. Our horror anthology Dade is wrapping up these extra bonus pages that he did. And once he does that, we're gonna move on to print. So I'm super hyped to see that book come to life. We kickstarted it in February,
Oh, nice.
which was a really good success. I was really happy with that.
That's
We
awesome.
hit
Congrats.
3K on that Kickstarter, which made me be ballsy and try to do the CWS one for 3K.
Yeah.
So it's been just anxiety. But real quick, rich but not wealthy said, yeah, actually it was funny. Once we were naming off our what we were doing, he was saying, I may be asking this prematurely, according to my girlfriend. I do everything prematurely.
Oh,
But I wanted to ask what everyone was drawing. He sent that right when we started answering it, so good job. And then he followed up with, yes, I've been waiting for a follow-up to Hunter Duck. Super rad. John, part-time comics, hey my dude. Just saying David Byrne with a bunch of hearts. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I actually have there's my guy.
Oh man, there you go. That's sick.
The American Utopia tour.
Wow.
Stephen Powers artwork and screen print.
Let's see that. I gotta align my page to this. I have like a really tiny like light box. It's like a little light tracer. I got it for like $10 at some sort of like Big Five or something store. You know what I mean?
Oh, Five Below, maybe.
Yeah, Five Below. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I've seen so many people use that lately.
I've had this for like, dude, man, since wanted to originally start drawing, which was like when I still lived in El Paso before I was making anything comic wise. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh, I should just trace stuff. And I just didn't keep up with it. But now I'm happy to put it in a bigger use.
yeah. I think Ro Higashi had one at IC3 that she was using to make
Oh,
a little commission for Jerome Cabanatan's daughter.
oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that was
Dude,
cool.
bro is awesome. She's one of my favorite humans ever.
Yeah, I
Um,
commissioned her to do a Wesley and Beatrice piece. I'm psyched.
oh, cool. Dude, that's so sick. I love that. I love seeing indie artists do like pieces for other indie artists. I think it's one of the raddest things you could do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
we got Ian
yeah. Go ahead.
Cinco popping up. What's good, everybody? Dude, Ian's the
Hey.
coolest dude ever.
Yes.
Like watching him draw is just like insane, insane. Like I'm just like, how do you even? Where do all those lines come from, my guy? Like, where are they in your head? Like,
Yeah. I
so
got him to
dope.
do a piece for my last book too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I gotta get him to
I'm
do
like
some
addicted
Apollo
to
stuff.
that. Like if I had like millions of dollars, I'd be the next Kevin Eastman. Just like lose all of
There
it
you
making
go.
comics.
I mean, that's the goal
Yes.
overall. Yeah, it was super cool. We after IC3 we did um Brooklyn
Oh
Independent Comic
yeah.
Showcase. I like New York. I love New York. It's like one of my
Yeah.
favorite places to be ever. That show was it was a little slow, a little spread out, but
Yeah.
I gotta check out some other New York shows for sure. Like I want to check out Rice and stuff like that. Those all sound really cool.
Yeah, Rice. I mean, I always like Rice. It was a little slower this year. Last year there was, I don't know if it just maybe marketed a little bit better, or we also had the eclipse was a big deal, and it was right on that path for the eclipse.
Oh,
So maybe there were just more people in town. Like it's a cool local show. It's definitely the one that like got me into doing shows regularly.
oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it. I mean, I would love to see more people come from further away to do it because we do get like there's this guy False Knees out of Montreal who does these existential bird comics, which are hilarious.
That's right.
So we get a lot of people from like Toronto, Montreal, that area. It would be cool to get people from a larger area. I just want to make sure it makes financial sense for them too. You know.
Ian just said if Aaron won the lottery, he wouldn't say anything, but there would be signs.
Hmm.
I would message Ian Cinco and say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
So yeah, on the constant, you'd be like, "Oh, I have a new book with Ian coming
Yeah,
out." You wouldn't-
I've got a book of horrible puns. I want you to draw, Ian.
That'd be great.
It might be called like troll publishing, where just everything is like. That sounds like a horrible dad joke. It's like we're gonna make a multi-volume graphic novel series about this now.
Oh well, I mean, that's kind of like not necessarily trolling, but the reason why I started drawing comics, not only because of panels and all that, but like my really good buddy, one of my best friends, Eric Allred, he does a lot for Apollo. He does a book called
Nice.
Outer Space. All the videos you guys have seen of panels. He filmed those and edited them,
Oh, cool.
like over a course of a weekend, which was insane. But what he started like drawing his own comic, and he was doing these outer space shorties, which you could get for free on our Apollo City Comics website if you head over there, apollo.citycomics.com. It's one of the
Nice.
first new items up there. But like Eric was making these comics, and then I was there being like, this motherfucker's like making comics before me. Like I can't. So out of spite, I just started
Yeah.
pushing myself to draw comics now. So I'm just literally trying to make these pages purely out of spite because Eric's beating me to do it.
Sure.
It's good motivation. You know what I mean? It makes sense since I have a Latte Larry's cup when he did the Spike Coffee shop next to Mocha Joe. It all comes together.
That's like my pal Sally, who her handle is Spectoons. She does a book called Witchaboos, and
Cool.
and this is I had just gone to TCAF in Toronto, so comics are already in my brain. And then she's like, "Oh, hey, check out my comic," and I was like, "Wait, what? You just made your own? You just?" And I had been a graphic designer for years and years, and an illustrator for years and years, and a fan of comics, and I had done cartoons for my school newspaper and stuff. And it never like clicked until she handed it to me, and I look through her book, and I was like, "You can make a comic." And then I was like, "I lost so much time. I need to get to work right away." And then I did.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about what Rich but not wealthy said. Spite is the best reason to do anything. Honestly,
It kind of is.
it's good motivation, you know. Um, yeah, the crazy thing about comics and drawing, it turns out, since I've really learned since I started the show with Max, was that you just got to do it,
Yeah.
and what do you know? It'll just start to happen after a while. Now that we've been doing this for a year, like I mean, I think about how I used to feel coming onto the show and just being like, man, I don't know how I'm lost, I'm confused, like all this stuff. And it's like, oh, I just did this every week for 2 hours a week for a year. And now we're drawing comics, and it's kind of just turns out you just got to like do it. Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Go
And
ahead.
the cool thing about it too is like the more you work, the more you like find out what you look like. You know what I mean? Like
Dude, we were
in terms of your
just talking
style,
about that.
how there's like
Yeah,
this
no.
big block of granite and you're just chipping away, and like the more you chip, the more you're like, oh, that's what my art style looks like. Okay.
Dude, that's such a good way to put it. Like you literally just have to like get at it and start drawing. And that's what I'm discovering right now is like finding the confidence in my art, but really like I have the confidence to do it. It's just like I'm learning how to like envision my art still and
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah.
So and figure out what I can do and what I'm struggling with. So I'm like I'm kind of starting to see what I'm looking like more and more. But
Yeah.
I'm in that phase where I'm still trying to like refine it a bit and really understand it. But it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah.
Um but that's the only hard part. That's the only thing I think that freaks me out is like I'm like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna look because like I don't really fully know what my art looks like and doing that certain thing, you know?
Yeah.
But you just gotta keep drawing and then you just figure it out.
Yes. Just gotta keep
It's
drawing.
like that Buckaroo Banzai quote, wherever you're going, there you are.
Oh, hi, Lucy.
And we're playing Barbie. This is Elsa 50.
Oh, cool.
This is little Bella.
Oh, hi, little Bella.
Come on, Luce.
Hi Bella.
Come on, honey.
And wherever there's an audience, she will find it.
It's amazing. It's so cute.
Oh, yes. If she stayed down here too long, we'd all be singing "If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands." So
Trying to make all these miserable artists happy while we're drawing and accepting our art. Yeah.
oh, she'll do her darndest. She loves to watercolor with me too, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's rad. I did a watercolor piece recently. I did a cover for our friend Skullhead, and we're gonna put it out because he's coming to Apollo and everything. He's a really great UK creator.
Yeah, I love his
And I
stuff.
actually, oh, he's such a cool dude and great art, man. That guy's phenomenal. He's just cool. He's a tattoo artist too, actually.
Nice.
But I got to get that cover I did hung in this really cool gallery that's going on in Front Row, Virginia right now. They're doing a big comic art exhibit, and they have stuff from like Matt Wagner and like some
Whoa.
people who worked on Red Sonja and all sorts of stuff. And
Dang, that's awesome.
yeah, the shop, Main Street Geek. If you guys check them out on Instagram, they're working with part of these different councils and clubs going on there, and so they're running this big comic art exhibit, and it's actually launching tomorrow. I'm really hyped to have that even hung in an exhibit. So pretty insane. Really big shout out to Main Street Geek. But watercoloring was insane, dude. Like I was so lost, but we made it happen.
Yeah,
Wish I had an image I could spit up.
I mean, a cool thing about it is it kind of has a mind of its own. So, like, no matter what happens, like you'll get an interesting result for the most part.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think that's just what happened. Was just like the result overall was really interesting. Like, and it worked. Just gotta take the risks. The entire time I was just freaking out, but I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about it is all you need is water to clean it up.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I mean. And doing it on blue line paper, which was kind of crazy too, because
Ooh.
like I was trying not to like make it too warped, but also I was like correcting stuff at the same time, and that was fun to mess with. Um, oh, John Godardi says, "Hey guys, I'm super excited for the new Comics Wellspring book, dude. Thank you so much. I think you're gonna love it if you're able to back it. Even the digital edition, just $25. It'd be super awesome." He also says, "Part of my comic is created to look like an underwater world, and I
Ooh.
colored it in digital watercolor." Yeah, John's a
Ooh.
really cool artist. They're really developing a style. I was really lucky and fortunate to check out their book recently, and it's dude, it's so stuff like that. Like I see it, and I'm like, man, I got to be doing this too. Like everyone, they're just rolling right past me, and John's just killing it. They've been working on their art for a while. Definitely check them out on Facebook.
It's
I
funny.
mean Instagram. I don't use Facebook.
I've been searching in my studio a little bit because I was trying to see if I had the first comic page that I ever made, which was like kind of an accident. It was like a one-off for a class that I was doing.
Ooh.
So I wanted to see if I could find it, but I don't think there's such luck. I'm looking up to see if I have it digitally on my iPad right now.
Oh, nice.
I remember my very first comic pages I ever made was when I was a really little guy. I made Ninja Turtle comics, and I had just learned how to spell wow and yes. So every single speech bubble from the Turtles was wow and yes.
That's so cool. I guess technically my first comic page would be the Corpse Flower mini comic that I did.
Ooh.
It's mostly like just like a grave being zoomed out and the corpse flower plant coming out with a hand. But I'll run downstairs. I'll show you guys the completed page I started last week. It's one of those things where like, it's your art, so you hate it to an extent, but it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, until you can learn to love it.
I think I might know where it is.
I'm really excited because I started coloring one spot and I was like, I shouldn't have done that. I should just digitally color it all. But I'm gonna scan it once I finish this page, and then I'm gonna really add more to it. You see the spots that are missing too, but this is what I got. So I had a friend, Logan Wheeler, post a May Star Wars, like kind of like a Inktober type of prompt.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that, but I'll just try doing comics. And so the first day was Luke Skywalker, and I had a story about how I tried to cut off my hand.
Yeah, I like that. It looks really good.
Oh, thank you, man.
You definitely nailed the Star Wars font too.
Oh, dude, I traced that.
Oh,
I tried.
well, you really nailed that trace.
Yeah, I'll reveal that right away. I found a font generator, and I was like, because I was trying to like get it right, and my sizing wasn't landing, and I was like, I'm just gonna print this 4 times until I land it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dude, fonts are hard. Like, lettering is tough.
Yes.
Like, hand lettering is insane. Do that digitally next time.
Here's some of my first pages.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
Dude,
Oh,
first
damn.
so good. Come on.
Those were for Inktober.
Yeah, those panel borders are wild.
I don't even know what year. Let me see. It was 2020.
Man.
Had you already been doing like drawing and stuff before you did a comics page?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to school for concept art.
Cool.
And then fell in love with comics. Doing like my fundamentals classes.
Yeah.
And then I just ditched concept art. I was like, I'm doing comics, and all my professors were like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Hey, look, I got my comic published," and they're like, "All right," and then let me do whatever I want from there.
Nice.
You're welcome.
So this is that first one that I did on accident.
Oh my
God.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was my final project for my graphic design class, and the project was to like take a haiku and then do it in three. It had to be in a square, and then you could only use 3 to 5 like frames. And I was like, this is perfect to do like a comic style story, but I did it a little like fine art. So all the text of the haiku is in these little boxes right here,
Oh,
and
man.
each box is a word. But yeah, this was fun.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
Look at
insane.
It's beautiful.
So I've been chasing this feeling ever since. Like I did this piece and I was like, this is cool. I want to keep doing this. And you can never get it back, man.
Love it. That's sick. It's awesome, Max. Consistently killing it. Always.
I know.
Trying.
Well, on the last episode, I was working on that big duck picture. This is it finished.
Oh man.
Dang, dude. That looks awesome with the color on it.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Super sick.
Was that some
Gosh,
multimedia?
that detail.
What's that?
Is that multimedia?
It's ink and marker.
Nice.
What markers do you use again? You're like super good with them.
Love the
Yep,
colors.
I learn slowly. I want to do watercolors someday. I want to do digital someday, but I just can't seem to stop doing ink and marker just because maybe complacency. I don't know.
If it works and you're getting stuff done.
Yeah, dude. Let's see.
So what is what's going on in everybody's current page? Even though I don't know what maybe some of your stories are about.
So last one was my Luke Skywalker one where I tried to chop off my hand as a kid. So this one's a Boba Fett themed one, and it's kind of staged about like me like like just like always wanting to like I really admired Boba and whatnot. And then I got a chance to meet him, the original guy that was in the suit at like an El Paso Comic Con
Whoa.
way back in the day. Our band was playing at the Comic Con, and so I got to meet him. But I had taken some edibles like earlier in the day, and they just like really kicked my ass. And so I just like walked up to him, and I was just like, "Oh, I got I have a the Mythosaurus tattoo on the back of my arm." And so I was like showing it to him. I was just like, "I got the thing that you know what I mean?" And I was just trying to really attempt to communicate with him that I was a big fan, and I had a Mythosaurus tattoo, and it just failed. So I did like a mighty, like, I'll show it to you guys. It's like super epic. It's like it starts off with like me as like a Mandalorian. I'm actually doing a Wizards homage cover, if you know that movie, by Ralph
Ooh.
Bakshi. I
Yeah.
have him like writing that creature that Necron 99 is writing. And then he shows just like a Boba just like chasing a shadow, to start to understand who I was, where I came from, my tribe, and then me getting the tattoo, and then someone handing me some edibles, and it shows the El Paso Convention Center, and then me meeting the guy, and this guy's like, "Is this kid stoned?" And I
That's a
was.
great story. I love that.
It was one of those when I was like 19 or whatever. It's like discovering that stuff I can handle.
I'm about to go catch a salmon. Is what's happening in this.
Yeah, catch those
Nice.
salmon. That's what the area I'm from is known for. Is it's salmon fishing.
Where are you at?
If New York State is Snoopy's head, I'm Snoopy's eyeball.
Okay.
It's a great
Really?
way to describe that.
So it's but it's Atlantic salmon, right?
Yeah, it's got to be because we have like the.
I live in the salmon capital of the world. Is what it's colloquially called.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I like your cartooning on that panel. Are you into fishing?
I have to be because I live here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking because like I feel like I'm not the best at drawing things that I have no interest in. So for me, I'm not really into fishing. So if I drew a fishing panel, which maybe I should challenge myself and do that because yours looks so cool, it would not look that fun. I don't think. I like the way your character's holding the fishing pole.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, the amount of fish here is just insane. And locals will tell you like, oh, it's nothing compared to what it used to be. But it'd be a shame not to try to experience the amount of fish that come through here. And so I kind of just learned. I used to go fishing with my dad when I was like really young. And it never really like interested me that much. But as like a young adult, like it's definitely grown on me and is very fun.
Okay, so do you fish to eat or do you fish to let them go?
I both. I try to fish to eat, and then I'll also just like go fish off the docks for fun or whatever, and just catch little guys and throw them back.
Gotcha.
But
Cool.
a big part of it is like responsibly fishing and kind of knowing what you're doing, and because a lot of people don't know that like there's some fish that you catch and then you bring them up to the surface, but you have to release them in deep water or else they'll die, or you only have this amount of time to get the hook out or they'll die. And that's what a lot of like fishing regulations are for and stuff, is to try and protect the wildlife and make sure things aren't overfished.
Yeah, I definitely did not know some of that information.
Yeah, it's insane. I think that's so cool though. It made you get into something I don't think you would have ever kind of dove into before, And like the anatomy you're doing on those fishes are wild.
Yeah, I'll pull that up too. I got that sitting right next to me. I make these, which this is my camera's pretty small.
Yeah.
But that's
Oh my god.
It's a vermilion rockfish, and there's the skull, and then this is the otolith, which is like a little ear in their bone bone in their ear, and that's how they like find all the information on the fish. And then this is the cut of fish. And then usually I have like facts about the fish, and then a summary, and then the scientific name and the common name and stuff like that.
I'm jealous. I'm getting like some art FOMO. I feel like I should draw a fish now. I mean, I drew this cartoon fish, but I mean a fish. That looks amazing.
Yeah, and like I'm trying to do all the like main fish that are here first, and then I want to branch out and do some like the weird stuff, like some of the life that's in the tide pools, or some of the like birds or weird squirrels that we have here. I think would be a lot of fun.
That'd be awesome, dude. Like those are so cool. It reminds me of like Stephen Bissett's Tyrant.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Ooh, that's a good callback.
Dude, I would buy that fish book.
Yeah, I just want to stare at it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and like doing these was like my way of learning about the fish, because I knew nothing about them, you know, and their behavior and what they do and how big they really are, and so that was like my way of learning about the wildlife in my area, was by doing those and having to do that research.
Kind of rad. More connected to that area now too, which is pretty interesting as well.
For sure.
I messed something up here and it's confused me. Now I gotta fix it. You guys have anything else coming up this month or anything? Events or anything you're doing?
Yeah. Tomorrow night, Lyd and I have another show that we're going to. The people who did the Art2 Network show are back in the Bronx, or not in the Bronx, Manhattan? No, wait. Yes, somewhere in the city. I've been living here for a couple of years. I still feel like I don't know the city that well, but it's in Soho, and they're doing a show called Art and Tacos. So tomorrow night, Lyd and I will be there at the GG Gallery or G Gallery in Soho.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I'm not doing any shows this month, but Saturday night we're driving out to Salem, Virginia to see Mastodon and Coheed and Cambria. So I'm
Nice.
Oh my gosh,
fucking
Mastodon!
hyped. Yeah. Love Mastodon. I think it's gonna be like my fourth time seeing Mastodon, maybe. Yeah, I think fourth.
That's awesome.
And like my 10th or 11th time seeing Coheed. I've seen Coheed a lot. Somehow I've seen Coheed and Cambria in some incarnation once a year for like the last like 10 years almost, except
That's
for like
cool.
a year in COVID or something. It just worked out every time. So
Man, Mastodon just reminds me of watching Headbangers Ball and getting the albums.
oh, dude. Yeah. Super rad. And I love Mastodon so much. It's gonna be weird because Brett's not in the band anymore, so we'll see how they sound.
I don't know if I'm going to this show, but I just found out like 2 days ago that the Dandy Warhols are playing in Rochester.
That's rad.
But it's on Mother's Day, so it's like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
But
I get that.
it would be cool to see them. They're fun.
It's like hard, like especially being older, dude. You know what I mean? Like being like, oh, I want to see a show, but it's on a weekday, so I guess not. You get the next day off if I see a show on a Tuesday night now.
Well, I'm like secure enough. I'm a teacher, and I've been doing this for a long time now. Like, if it was a weekday and like I could get away with it, I would take the next day off. But no such luck in this current time so far.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Nah, that's when you go into class and you say, all right, kids, we're watching movie today.
Yeah.
Or you put on Bill Nye and call it a day.
Hell yeah.
And they'd be like, Mr. Lee, why are we watching Bill Nye in art class? And I'd be like, shh.
Your assignment is to watch Bill Nye and then draw him.
Yeah,
Oh,
look at all the crazy components I got of this.
Yeah. Hey, that show was an art piece.
Dude,
It was.
so good.
It was.
That or that one, remember that crazy Discovery show? It was like the intro was like a really intense theme song, and you're like going through a museum kind of, and everything's like coming to life at you. Um,
Oh, I don't know this.
oh man.
That sounds familiar, vaguely.
It's like a white museum you're going through, and it's just like a crazy camera, and then you're seeing like dinosaurs and birds and shit come out. Like,
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
yeah, it's a really catchy theme. I'll find it and I'm gonna send it to the group chat. Everyone else might be confused, but you guys will get it. I was so hyped to start that Spilding group chat today. What a good idea. It
Yes.
saved us. Because I'm always hunting down guests, and I know people always want to come on. They just, you know, some people are like hesitant on asking, or think I have it mapped out, which I don't. So I'm always looking for someone to pop on. And this was like, this is gonna be easier if I just keep on adding people who come on the show. And there's a lot of people, like even John. I'd love to get John on here. Anybody, if you guys want to be on Spilled Ink, you just need to drop me a message and we'll set you up with a date. And the more, the better. It's always good having people discover people.
Yeah, good deal.
Oh, I got to get in touch with my pal Sally. She would be awesome.
Was she at IC3?
She was.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I think I have her on Instagram too, if I'm thinking of the same person.
Yeah, she is a character. Like they did this comic reading thing at Rice. They did it last year too, or this year, but we both did it last year. And she comes from like a theater background, but then she's very much influenced by like Nickelodeon and all that stuff. When she read her comic, she had voices for all her characters, and she blew the roof off of that thing.
Ooh, that's rad. That's so
Yeah,
rad.
yeah, she killed it.
While we have some people hanging out and joining us right now too, don't forget to check out panels, the Comic Creators Guidebook. Really exciting stuff. We are so close to being funded. You get a digital copy right now for $25. It comes with the workbook, the guidebook, and physical copy for 45, and this can come packed with cool stuff and extra downloads and everything too. All sorts of different tiers we got going on, from foil. You can get blue line paper that I'm working off of right now too. Wham Stand. Actually, we're going to be interviewing Moose from Wham Stand on Inspired Ink very soon on the live. And we even have one for retailers and educators. So if you're interested in that as well, yeah, please
Hey, I'm an
pledge, and then
educator.
we'll be working. Yeah, there you go. You get 5 copies for 200, and then we'll be giving you some additional resources after the campaign, and even offering workshops depending on your area too. Or if we work something out, I'll do a workshop in your class. It'd be fun. Love to do one with you. Actually, be a lot of fun, Aaron.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
all sorts of stuff.
That's the next thing I have coming up is I don't have any shows or anything, but I'm doing a workshop at my local library in June. This will be June 7th and 14th.
That's so cool. I just spoke to my library and I talked to them about doing workshops. So they gave me tons of information. I can't wait to fill out and get that going.
Yeah. Libraries are the best.
Dude, they are. They're
Yeah.
like the coolest things like ever. It's insane.
My
Not giving
favorite
up
Zine
credit.
Fest is at a library.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, this lets you table for free. It's
Yeah,
freaking awesome, dude.
Wow.
We need more of in the world, you know?
that's true. And my daughter's old enough now where like she likes to go to the library and pick out books, and of course they have a whole big kids section, like with toys and things to play with and stuff. So no joke, I'm at the library like every other day.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Does your library have a good comic section?
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's like one big long shelf of like Western comics, and then one big long shelf of manga, and then they have a ton of YA graphic novels upstairs. So it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It always surprises me just how good library comic selection is.
I met the person who chooses the graphic novels at my local library, and dude, I went to go check it out, packed with good stuff. I was so happy.
My library has a copy of Xenozoic by Mark Schultz, and every time I go, I pick it up. I just get like lost, and it was like I need to put this back because I can't stay here forever. Like it was known as Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. If you've ever heard of that thing.
Oh, I love that, the cartoon and the comic.
Yeah, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, whenever I see an issue of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs in the Wild, I always pick that up. It's great.
Yeah. Even the one that was the Tops thing where they hired some other folks to do stories, even those are great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Hey, William Ibanez says Tubi put up all the episodes of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs recently. Still holds up. I gotta check that
Yeah,
out.
maybe that'll be my morning watch. That when it before everybody else is up.
There you go. I gotta look into that. Sounds dope. I
Oh,
was watching
maybe.
Greg the Bunny on Tubi recently. I don't know if you guys ever watched Greg the Bunny, but
Sounds very familiar.
they do like spoofs of like other films, and it's like a Seth Green production too, back from the
Oh,
I think late '90s, early 2000s. Um, but dude, it is hilarious. They have an Eraserhead spoof. They have
oh,
2001, all sorts of stuff, and it's so great.
I'll add that to my list. I've never heard of that. It's good. I've been catching up on
Yeah.
a lot of adult cartoons from the early 2000s, especially on YouTube. I've been watching Mission Hill and Undergrads and Duckman, uh,
Oh, nice.
Dr. Katz.
Dr. Katz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
there you
anybody,
go.
did anybody ever watch Ugly Americans?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Remember that
That
one.
show had so much potential. It was,
That reminded me a lot of like Drawn Together. Did you ever remember that show on Comedy
Oh
Central?
my God, yeah.
yeah, drawn together. I feel like they did stuff just to be shocking, whereas like
Oh,
I feel like
yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Ugly Americans like was Jim Rugg talks about like fusion comics where it's just like everything all in one comic, like everything you think is cool all in one comic.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
felt like that as a series. I guess I mean they made a whole bunch of episodes. I guess they were successful, but I just saw that because it looks a lot like reminds me of like Dan Klaus or like uh
Oh, yeah.
maybe Jamie Hewlett or something like it's very much in that like 90s alternative comic style vein. And then of course you got like cool looking demons and stuff. So I was like, man, they could. And then also like the mundanity of like office work and all that stuff, and having those things juxtaposed. I was like, there's a lot to that they could do.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard on those cable networks. Even harder now, right? Because unless you have a deal with streaming, like unless you have like a
Well, like
huge runaway hit.
like the Harley Quinn show is pretty popular.
Yeah, the animated one.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of that. I liked it. It was funny.
Oh, dude, I love the Harley Quinn show. I think it's one of the best things DC's done in geez, so long. Like, and I absolutely adore that show so much. Dude, the first like 5 minutes just had me dying. Like, I knew where I was going, and I was like, "This is it." Um, I was also a big like Robot Chicken fan, and like as ridiculous as Aqua Teen Hunger Force was, I loved Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Uh,
Yeah.
Metalocalypse, that was my favorite, probably out of all of them. That's the stuff I usually watched more along the adult cartoon line in general, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys watch Creature Commandos?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
liked it a
really good.
lot. Really
Yeah.
good.
Oh, so good. Nina.
Dude, that show, like, I mean, James Gunn is a great storyteller, I feel. I
Yeah.
just, he has a formula, but like, it's a great formula. You can't
Yeah,
argue
Yeah.
against it,
he's
you know
yet
what I
to
mean?
disappoint.
Yeah. Like, people say he's like really repetitive, and especially with his he chooses a lot of creatures and animals and whatnot, and you get attached to them and everything. And I'm like, hey, well, I mean, yeah. Were you not attached though? Then it worked.
Right.
Like,
It's like I was watching. I got to see Thunderbolts earlier this week, and there's a
cool, cool.
like a trope thing that they always do, where like, oh, here's a kid in danger, and like, oh, then here's a hero, and it's like I've seen this same situation play out probably hundreds of times, but it works every time.
Yeah.
Like when you get a kid
Yeah.
involved in the danger, and it's like, no.
It's like upscaled a lot too, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good though, the Thunderbolts movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm curious about it though, for sure. It's the first Marvel movie in a while I've been very curious about. I didn't see the new Captain America. I'll probably wait till it's streaming.
I like that. I mean, I remember the era of like when we had like the direct to TV like Nick Fury movie, and
Yeah. Yeah,
Captain America with the rubber ears. So like
dude. Stuff
so
really
like
ridiculous.
there's a part of me that's still like, hey, this movie had a budget and they look like the comics. So like, I mean, there's always more to desire, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's sometimes they set the bar too high for themselves, and it shot them in the foot in the future years. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think a lot of what they produce is really good. They could even do scale back on some parts, but I think we're just so used to expecting Avengers level material,
yeah.
you know?
I think Thunderbolts did a good job of like scaling stuff down. This is a conversation I have all the time with my buddies who are at my local comic shop and stuff. Is like, you ever read classic X-Men, like
Yeah.
the reprints, and they would do news stories in the back, and they would just be like little vignettes. Like there's one where Colossus like falls in love with a ballerina, and like he has to change into Colossus to save her from some mobsters, and then she rejects him because he's a mutant, and that's like the whole story.
Yeah.
Um, but I love those little vignettes like more so than like, well, we got to punch an army of robots again, and it's
Yeah.
and Thunderbolts kind of did something more in that vein, and I really liked it. I hope they do more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I've
really
been
cool to
pretty.
hear.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all I was saying. Go for it. Oh, go on, Don. You're good.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I've been shocked by the amount of people who are actually saying good stuff about Thunderbolts, because I think it was one of those it was the genre of Marvel we call jock Marvel. So we're like, oh, it's gonna be a jock Marvel action film, but the critique I've been hearing, a lot of people are like, oh, this movie's actually sad, and I'm like, now I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, Florence Pugh kills it.
I was about to say I love Florence Pugh though too. I'm a fan.
She's gonna be carrying the MCU, I feel like.
I think so. I think she's the next like big thing they've really ushered in.
Yeah.
Booby, get off my computer. Get off my computer, dude. Come on, come on my lap. Get off the computer. Close this whole stream down, dude. All right, all he did was highlight a comment. That's not bad.
Not too
Please
bad.
don't bite me, guy. I'd rather you not bite my chair either, but yes, whatever works, works. Max, you were talking about how light boxing lets you, dude, I am using my pencil that you're chewing on. Um, you were saying about how light boxing you could really adjust this entire top of my panel. So I have this like, Mandalorian give, who me as a Mandalorian a tattoo. And so you guys can see Booby on the screen just screwing stuff up, just getting in the way, trying to demonstrate something here. Dude, get off my computer. Booby, off my motherfucking computer. Thank you. Anyways, and so I did a little like tattoo board of like designs in the background, but when I drew it, it was way too tight. So I'm like gonna expand it and then I'm gonna move it around a little bit so that I actually have the room I need to make these images work.
There you go.
And then I gotta move my box, my dialogue box up a little bit to the corner because it's like just too low down as well. So light boxing. I thought that was gonna be like once I thought about that, I was like, oh, maybe that'll just help me clean up the pencils and then I'll be able to ink it with more confidence. Which so far it seems to be working.
Yeah, a lot of
What
people
sucks
use
is
light box. Yeah, go ahead.
oh my ruler's like bent. Like I think in one of my moves it just got pinched weird and like this metal ruler isn't straight. It like curves a little bit. And so like trying to do a straight line still sucks. It's my biggest ruler though. So I'm using what are these things called? It's like the angles, spacing out the name of it.
You're talking about like a protractor?
Protractor, yeah, I knew it started with a P. There you go. Yeah, that works really well too. I swear to God, if you walk on my computer again, cat, like go around it. All right, let's see here. And then remove this here. Let me make it that big.
I think Charles Burns does like layers and layers of tracing paper and light box when he does his stuff.
That makes sense. I just read Final Cut. Have you guys checked that one
Oh
out? It is recent.
yeah.
Okay. It's a good one. It was trippy. It was a really awesome book. It was one of those books I read in like two sittings too. Like I just couldn't put it down. It's such a fast read in a sense.
Yeah, it's very snappy, I thought. Oh, and he's got
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm in my studio, so of course I've got like all this stuff like within reach. But he put out this book, Unwholesome Love. Have you seen this thing?
Oh wow, no.
Huh.
No, it looks great.
He put it out September 2024, so pretty recent.
Oh
But
wow, I don't remember that one at all.
yeah,
That's
I think this is
crazy.
just like
It's cool seeing it black and white too.
yeah, and it's on newsprint.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like it's super cool.
I try to do a spotlight on you. There you go.
We should
Yeah,
do an
that's rad.
episode. We should do an episode that's like, let's look at some of our favorite books, you know?
Oh, I'd be down for that one night.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down with that. Oh, these lines are so sharp. Look at these silhouettes. Come on.
Wow.
I know. I'm trying to pull out books now too, man.
There's so many patterns and silhouettes and like depth of field tricks that he's using in this.
Yeah, it'd
That's
be
what I
fun to
gotta
do
do.
like a study night too, where we're just like looking
Ooh,
at stuff and recreating, or even I mean, I would always like to ink over people's pencils and stuff like that, or once we get to coloring, color people's inks and whatnot.
dude, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that was always a lot of fun.
Because there's some Jack Kirby and Gene Colan stuff I'd love to ink.
Yeah, same. That's exactly what I was thinking of, actually.
Jack Kirby?
Yeah, because I have some like,
Yeah.
I think I have a pencil of Orion and some other stuff. I did one of those Jack Kirby fan club boxes that his grandson
Ooh.
does.
Nice. He did Machine Man, which is definitely a huge influence
Oh yeah,
on the Wesley the Robot character.
I can see that. That's cool.
And there's some great pencils of Machine Man that I'd love to take a crack at inking, and that would give me that would justify me spending time on it.
Yeah, this was a cool. Hold on, I need to move my chair for this. Okay, this is a cool find. It Marvel Ultimates 2.
Ooh,
But it's pencils. It's like just like the thumbs and pencils and stuff.
yeah.
Like it has all the X's and it's just raw scans.
Oh
Brian
wow,
Hitch is a genius.
I was about to say I'm not a Brian Hitch fan, but I do like his earlier work, like the stuff that you see in the Ultimates. But like modern Brian Hitch, I don't know why. I don't really vibe with anymore.
I just think it's crazy that this was even made. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
just by Marvel in general, like yeah.
yeah, that they're letting like, they really don't like. Most people do not put out any kind of process at all to purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those are just like, look, you can see he's planning where balloons are going and stuff.
Awesome.
It's pretty sweet. I got some other weird stuff too that I found.
I mean, you were talking about Jack Kirby. I love this book here. This is Destroyer Duck, the graphite edition.
Ooh.
So this is all his pencils for Destroyer Duck and some of the script.
Ubi, T'Challa's doing anything, my guy. In fact, my cats are about to like duke it out right now, and I'm like, guys, not now. Like,
That's so cool. I've never read Destroyer Duck. I should read that.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
I've never read it. I'd really love to check that out.
It's the duck, or this book paid for Steve Gerber's lawsuit with Marvel about Howard the Duck, and Jack Kirby drew it for him because he also had anger with Marvel.
Understandably so.
Yeah, like here's a Lovecraft Corbin book.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, this is really cool.
Ooh.
It's all black and white too.
I love Corbin.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is crazy.
It's a rad like process. Is it meant to be black and white, or is it a process?
No, it's
book?
I'm pretty sure it's made to be black and white.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
But seeing Corbin and Lovecraft was like, I have to get this. And then this is this what I think it is? Hold on. Yeah, this is a really cool book. This is Jim Lee's Death Blow through Image Comics.
Oh, wow.
But this is it's like an all black cover, but you can see that like there's barely the image on there. It's like a matte black and a shiny black. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And in the back of it is this like one-off story called Cybernary. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even know if his credits are in here, dude.
Nick, is it Manabat?
Yeah, I think you're right. But like this thing is crazy. And sadly, I believe he passed away shortly after doing this and wasn't able to do like more. But this was a crazy book.
I just found all those in dollar bins at this shop in New Hartford, New York.
Yeah, that's where I'm picking them up too, man. In
Yeah.
Alaska of all places, which is real weird.
Well, let you know like the reach of and the numbers of that publication.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, and just how avid collectors are, you know.
Yeah.
They've been holding on to this stuff.
I actually picked up the whole first graphic novel of Gen 13 for $1.
Oh, sick! I've always wanted to check that out, just out of curiosity.
I mean, it's fine. It's fun.
Yeah, I think you can probably just get more artistically out of that at a certain point, or just like history wise with who is it, J. Scott Campbell that drew that one
Yeah.
too?
Very early J. Scott Campbell. But I mean, you can still see his stuff, but it's like him like trying on like Jim Lee, and like trying to figure out who he is. But it's still got like the big expressive eyes and all that stuff.
Brad, I've always just been interested in it, just more curiosity because of the time period and what it did for some of those artists taking off.
Yeah. I mean, I always remember like reading Wizard magazine and seeing
That's
like all
exactly what I
the
learned from it.
yeah, and then it always seemed like just a bit too scandalous for me to like pick up from the shop and like bring home and like openly read in front of my family, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
But now I'm an adult. I can buy it for $1. I got a job. It is interesting. Like they had a character named Grunge who could like absorb material, and then it was originally going to be called Generation X, and then Marvel was like, "Oh no, 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 you can't call it Generation X." And then they made their own Generation X, and they had a character named Mondo, and the character Grunge says Mondo Red all the time. So it's like, what is going on with that? Like, are they mocking Marvel? Like did Marvel name another character that was super similar to Grunge, like with the thing that Grunge says? It just seems
Yeah,
weird.
that is super interesting.
And of course, it's like 30 years ago, so it's like, could we even figure that out now? Like, who would you even ask?
That's the wild part when some of these comics are just getting so mass produced on a certain period or by certain people or publishers, like you can't even keep track of who was on the book or
Yeah. But some of those books out there, like was it Sean Howe's The Untold History of Marvel Comics, stuff like that.
oh
I,
yeah.
I find those to be an interesting read to like hear what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I collect a lot of like old comics journals because I love reading just comic history just overall and just how things were and what's changed or what just like really hasn't changed or just slightly evolved in a way.
Yeah.
Um that one I have like two short boxes just of magazines that I was just going on like an eBay spree at one point, just getting classic um like stuff from the 80s and 70s of just interview magazines for comics. And even that one that Stan Lee started, Comics Books, and you put the X in it. It's a bit more like
Oh,
edgier
nice.
adult Marvel. Yeah, some of those are kind of cool.
I've been really getting into the magazine comics. There's a few places online where you can buy PDFs of like an entire run of like the Epic or Creepy
Oh,
and
cool. I
Eerie.
have some Epic. Us too. Yeah, that's super. Yes, I had that for Wizard, man. I only have like 6 issues of Wizard left. I had a whole bunch as a kid, and
Nice.
I wish I kept up with it or just didn't get rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same with my Mad magazines. I had so many Mad
Yes,
magazines.
dude. I had a ton too.
So dumb. I like left them. I lived with this one girl, but with my early 20s, and I moved out and I left them because I didn't want to make another trip back, and that's all that was there. And so I was like, I can just forget about my Mad magazines. And now I would 100% go back. Like, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
That was one of those moves though. Like I took my dog, and then I was like, I'll be back for the rest of my stuff if it's here, but at least I got my dog. I just hope for the best every time I went back for a trip.
Yeah.
Like it could be on the line, it could be could still be there.
Oh, jeez. But I'm really into that idea of like those anthology books where it's like an eight-page story, 10-page story, 12-page story, where it like sets up the premise, it like does its thing, you get in and out in like that little amount of pages.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why we've had so much fun doing anthologies with Apollo. I think all of us have really tested our short story bandwidth, and I try to really make them expand some of the comics I'm working on, like Teenage Babylon and Fake Your Death. And so it's been
Yeah.
fun adding to those worlds and in 1 to 6 pages and whatnot. Like,
Yeah. Because I know like sometimes when I read it's like when I'm going to bed. So like 10 pages is all I'm gonna get through really.
it's vibes. I get that.
So it's nice to like complete something and then zonk out.
Yeah, you feel like a little achievement then, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you read something longer, like right before you're gonna zonk out, sometimes you just don't like remember it all, like as you should.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody's experienced this where you like read a line in a book and you just keep reading the same line over and over again and you're like,
Oh yeah.
what am I reading? What does this even mean?
Yeah, you're just like, why haven't I gone to bed yet? Why am I still trying to do this? Like,
Yeah.
Yo, that's my ADD in my whole high school career. Just so bored at school, reading the same line over and over again.
That's why I'm so glad I teach art.
Coolest thing you could teach.
Like a trick I do sometimes if I have a kid that's like totally disengaged, like I'll just bring them over like a giant box of Prismacolors and just like put it on their desk and be like, can this entice you to work on something? And then they'll like crack open the box and like start coloring. Another kid will be like, can I borrow some markers? I go, no, it's only for them.
Amazing.
You try to make them feel a little special. So like,
Yeah.
so they'll participate.
That's the hardest part is like, how do I actually get these students to participate and do stuff too?
Oh yeah. You're not going to win them all. It's a hard lesson to learn, but it's true. I handed one kid who doesn't even really come to class a lot, but I just try to be like really nice and be like, hey, you coming to class today? And today she showed up and she was doing art on her computer. And we have these Chromebooks, which are touchscreens, which is not ideal to draw with. But I have this XP Pen Deco, which is like the Intuos Wacom from back in the day. So you draw on the board and it shows up on screen. But the cool thing is they work with Chromebooks. So I brought over like a tablet and I was like, hey, you can draw on this on your computer. Do you want to try that out? She's like, sure. So I like plugged it in for her and I was like, yeah, go ahead. And at the end, I was like, what do you think? She's like, I like it. I'm like, okay, because I'll come back next time. We can use it again. So trying to trying to get them. We'll see. We'll see.
Just trying to hook them.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that that's a really important. What like age or grade do you teach?
7 and 8, so it's like 12 to 14.
Okay. Yeah, like that's the most important thing that like I was simultaneously like frustrated with in high school, and also like, or you said 7th and 8th. I guess that's middle school.
Yeah.
Was like simultaneously frustrated and super happy with was like I hated just doing the like group project where everybody's like doing the same kind of thing and like whatever. And I loved having the freedom to just like explore whatever I wanted to explore.
Yeah.
Like I think there's value in doing those group things, especially if you're like teaching them like a certain medium or whatever.
Yeah.
But having the option to where it's like, hey, come in, just do whatever you want to do, you know, like I don't really care.
Yeah.
Just like have fun and explore.
Yeah, I always have like kind of like a backdoor option for like kids to do like what they want to do. Like if they make a case to me that like, hey, I want to do this because of this, this, and this, I go, okay, that sounds good. We can put that in the place of this grade. But I mean, sometimes the only way you're going to get any work from any kid is to like put the cool stuff in front of them and give them choice. So I just try to stay flexible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really good way to go about it.
Because the kids that can follow directions and like, you know, get into the technique and stuff, they will. And they're like, the kids you got to break out the other stuff for, well, you break out the other stuff for them. Oh, I'm super lucky. I got a friend of mine who's like a veteran teacher in a district nearby. Got a ton of paper from a print shop. I guess every year they just give away a ton of paper because they just cannot hold on to everything.
Oh wow.
And they need to get rid of the scrap. And like we're talking about like multiple truckloads of paper. And like he brought over like the back of his truck full of paper, and I put it in the back of my car. And it's been so cool to have like these big sheets of paper to just like not be so precious with, you know, because like I was running out of paper. I had no paper. And just give these kids like this 12 by 18 sheet of paper and be like, draw me an ear and fill the entire page with the ear.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. My teacher in high school, I guess our art budget was like super freaking low, which surprise there.
Yeah.
She would like quote unquote steal, right, all of the old textbooks that our little school library was throwing out, whether they were outdated or just weren't used, right? But she would steal them, and then on day one, she'd be like, go pick a textbook, and then you're going to gesso all of the pages, and then that's going to be your sketchbook for the year.
Ooh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Back when I was doing more sketchbooking, like what I used to do if I had a bad drawing in the sketchbook is I would do that. I would like gesso over it and like try to save the page.
What is gesso? I don't even know what that is.
It's just like a white primer, like a white
cool.
paint.
That's right.
Yeah, it just gives you typically it's used for canvas to give you like a smoother surface to work on.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Interesting. I didn't know that at all. That's really bad.
Yeah. But it's like really cheap, thin white paint, essentially.
Yeah. Almost powdery when it dries.
Yeah.
Oh, almost powdery. Interesting. It's crazy you can still work off of it with that. I'd love to see that. Oh, Rick Lopez, Doomday says you're doing the Lord's work, Aaron.
Oh, thanks, Rick. I try. Well, you know, Scott McCloud did say that too. So who am I to question Scott McCloud? Have you heard my annoying story about that?
No. Oh no, please.
So Scott McCloud talked at Syracuse University probably like 3 years ago now, and me and my buddy Evan were there. Great presentation. He's an amazing communicator. And then of course, you got to talk to him afterwards. And I was talking about how much I loved like Eclipse and Zot and Kamiko and all these black and white mid '80s things. And he's like, oh well, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a middle school art teacher. And he said, you're doing the Lord's work. And so if Scott McCloud tells you you're doing the Lord's work, that goes on the back of your book. Like, context be damned. It's going on the book.
He also says we need to chip in on a T-square for Brandon too. Yo, for reals though. I was just telling them earlier, Rick, that I have this other ruler that I'm using, but it's like warped, it's bent, it's a metal ruler, but it's like really like it has a dent in it. So even doing straight lines on that sucks. Like, yeah.
But
All my
maybe it'll
lines
be
are a little
your
messy.
signature look. The bent
Right?
ruler
Yeah.
look.
Just like leans to the left a little bit, you know. Oh, well, these last.
And then you have to come up with like a BS reason why you do that. And you're like, oh, it leans to the right so that it like forces the viewer's eye to the right and onto the next page.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. We need the gimmicks.
That's what it's all about. That's how Kiss made it. You know what I mean? Like, just gotta have a good gimmick.
That's right.
I mean, you have a great gimmick, dude. You're robot and girls. Like that's it. That's a good sell.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring the heavy metal aesthetic to all ages.
Can you put some coins under the bent one to maybe flesh it out? Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried that. Huh. Yeah, I gotta try. I gotta figure something out. I just get a new ruler because it's stupid too.
Something I do sometimes with my students when they just want a straight edge and they're like, oh, can I have a ruler? I'll say no. And then I'll be like, can you find anything else around they can like draw a straight line with? And they have like computers and they've got folders and they've got binders. And they're like, oh, I can just use this. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I literally just typically use like a piece of paper that's floating around or a little sketch card.
Yeah.
I just need a somewhat straight line every so while. And sometimes I just wing it like this one. I just winged it down here. Oh, you can't see with my camera, but
yeah, I mostly just use a card too, half the time.
yeah, whatever's close. Like here, like I would have used this little sketch card I have with my thing. You've got to like test inks and whatnot.
I really like a triangle.
Yeah.
But whatever works.
Literally, huh?
There's a cool tool that I don't know if you've heard of, Brandon. I wonder if I could pull it out. It's called a flexible curve.
Oh, wow.
And it's like this blue long square of rubber. And it has a wire in it. So you can bend it to the shape that you want, but it'll also hold its shape. That's a really interesting tool to use. Like if you're real meticulous about clean inking. I've seen plenty of people use those. I wonder if
That's really cool.
I used to have one of those on my desk. I must have moved it.
I don't think I've ever used it. I think I was just like, oh, I'll just freehand it.
Yeah. Well, there's something too, like freehanding. Like I used to try to use rulers and stuff for drawing architecture. And then I think it was like when I was looking at Paul Pope stuff, and I was like, oh, he's not using a ruler at all.
Nah.
And that's when I was like, I think I need to do that because like everything you draw, I mean this is how I think, but like everything you draw, like for the figures and stuff, you're not using a ruler. So like if all of a sudden the ruler shows up in the buildings,
It throws it off.
Yeah, at least for me, like I just could never reconcile the difference. And so then like looking at that and then also hearing like Mark Silvestri doesn't use rulers when he draws architecture, I was like, okay, I think that's the school I need to study in.
Yeah, the rule of thumb that I've heard of too is like you can use the ruler all you want in like thumbnails and pencils, but when it comes to inking, just don't use a ruler.
Yeah, makes sense.
Here's a flexible curve. It's really long. I should actually zoom out. Hold on. Oh. And so it's just this little blue square of rubber with a wire in it, but you can like curve it to what you want. And then like I could place it like here or something, you know, and then I have a really clean line to ink around
Nice.
doing this. Or I
Oh
could
yeah.
like if I wanted like a really tight like S shape or something, you know, like I could.
Oh, that's cool. It's pretty rad.
I have
It's
one
kind
of
of a
those
weird
too. I
tool.
lost it. Damn.
I can't think of a use case in which I would use it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like one of those things you just got around, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a weird like panel border or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like I could see it for that, but that's pretty much it.
I only ever used mine when I had a really big curve to make if I was working on a splash page or something.
And a French curve didn't work, or you didn't have one.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of tools. I use my environment.
That's the way to do it.
Whenever I need a circle, I run around the house looking for something
Yeah.
circular shaped.
It's always like lids and stuff.
Yeah.
We the cones I get have a perfect lid that I use all the time, and it's a perfect circle for stuff like this. And I'm like, oh, nice. Like they're great for cat toys and drawing.
You don't have to spotlight me anymore.
Oh my bad. I forget to switch the camera all the time.
No, you're good. You're
There
good.
we go. Yeah, I'm really liking this process. It's definitely taking a little longer, you know what I mean? Because I'm like kind of like redrawing it with the pencils right now, but it's coming out so much cleaner and I'm fixing a lot of mistakes, so that's worth it. It's kind of like when I write a story, I tend to write it in a notebook first, and then I'll type whatever's in the notebook onto a Word document, and that's like draft number 2 at that point because I'm making edits as I'm retyping it and cleaning up some stuff. But just getting it out somehow is really what's important. Um, it's cool because I need to go by my library again. That's where I get all my stuff scanned. I love that my library has 11 by 17 scanner. It's just the greatest thing ever. It's kind of crazy. They have 11 by 17 scanner, but I've tried searching for that scanner like online, and I can't find it anywhere. I really would like to know where they get it though.
I don't have an 11 by 17 scanner at home either. I do mine at my work. But I feel like standard scanners always tend to break or get weird or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have the Epson Workforce that has 11 by 17 bed in it.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Do you do a lot of traditional stuff often? Or are you really just kind of just more digital focused these days now?
I do a lot of traditional stuff for school, like as demos
Okay.
and stuff for classes. But just in terms of like getting this stuff done, it's so much easier to carry around like an iPad
Yeah.
or something with especially with like a 3-year-old that can just like knock over your bottle of ink at any moment.
Oh,
Spilled
true.
ink.
There you
Um,
go. Yeesh.
I mean, I do like traditional inking. I have tons of brush pens and stuff, and I did want to do this one traditional, but it's just going to take longer. And I'm trying to hit that. I'm trying to get it done by like early August, so we can
Yeah.
get it like proofed and sent to the printer in August, and be ready to rock in September. So, but I mean, I do love digital brushes too. Like This one the one that I really love using, and I'm using Adobe Fresco too, so you have access to all the Kyle T. Webster brushes. Kyle's Inkbox, the parallel in there, like it's not quite like a parallel brush pen. It kind of is, but not really. Like, it doesn't really work like a parallel brush pen, but it's got like enough crispness to it where you can get these nice tight details, but then it also has like some transparency and some chop to it, so it still very much looks traditional. So I like that one a lot. There's another brush set that I really like called the AD Cartoonist brush set. I think I got that off Creative Market like years ago. But that's got some good stuff in it too. Like I'm always trying to find brushes that look very traditional, even though they're digital.
Yeah, I've got one on my iPad that actually will let me like, it acts like a brush pen, but then because it's Procreate, you have like all the like tilt features.
Yeah.
And then it does a dry brush.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
There's one I really like in this called Scrape. I'm not sure. It must be in the...
Yeah, so like I can do like black brush lines.
Yeah.
But then I can also like do a dry brush effect with it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Really cool.
The thing I'm always looking for too is like something that you can get values with, but it's not actually gray tone. It's like more noise. It's like speckles that create the value. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really want to find a tool or a way to add value like that traditionally without having to deal with like screen tone.
Yeah.
Because screen tone's just so freaking expensive.
Yeah, and it mores too when you change the scale.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to figure out like what I could do, and like I'm thinking like an ink wash, and then like I'd have to just do it digitally of like running it through like a bit crusher or something.
Yeah.
To give it like a retro like RPG feel, or I don't know. But I'd love to find a way to do it traditionally. I just have no clue what tool I would use.
I bought a stippling pen because it looked cool, and I was like, what would this do? But it was just like a ballpoint pen with like a little motor on it. It was not cool at all. But like, but if they could do like a Posca marker, like a fine Posca marker with the same type of technology, right, and actually make it like a tougher like mechanical thing, because this thing, it was ridiculously expensive for what it was. I sent it back. But if they could do like a real like solid stippler with like a refillable thing for like $150, that would be a sound investment, because you wouldn't have to do all the stippling, but you could still fill the area, and it would be like a dot because it would be Posca. It'd be like that bullet tip. But I don't know how to engineer that.
I'm just gonna start doing my comics with a tattoo gun.
That might be the thing. But you're talking about tones. There's something I finally figured out that I liked on my stuff. I just made a really good like textured gray layer that has like a speckle in it, and so now I drop that in for my tones instead of halftones. As much as I love halftones, but I mean, in our current climate here, where like I hope that like printing services, like Comix, Wellspring are still going to be viable. I think that they will be, but I just want to, like, even if my own finances like get weird or whatever, like I want to make sure I can still print this at like a zine size, and like it'll work at 2 sizes without moraing or getting weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I have this, I don't know if you can see it, but like I made this gray thing, and I get this brush that was just all speckle, and then I goofed around with some layers or whatever, but I just really liked how it looked. And so now I use that as my gray tone, because it works small and it works big.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like I didn't do any tones on my Wesley the Robot The Dark Ages, my big collected edition, just because I couldn't decide like how I wanted to do them. And now I figured it out. And the thing I thought about too is like to bring it back to those classic X-Men is like back when it was on they use the halftone patterns for colors and it's on the newsprint. I just remember as a kid looking at those John Bolton backups and being like, these are the most realistic looking comics I've ever seen in my life. And then I think I bought like the digital version of it and it was like just the flat colors in there. I was like, oh, wait, what is this? Because even just dropping a texture underneath your line art like tricks your brain, I think, into like thinking it's more detailed than it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, almost all of the books that I've done, I've put in a like a false paper texture behind.
Yeah.
Just to give it something to hold on to. And I kind of think of it as like film grain almost.
Yes.
You know? It's just like something to scatter the eye, and so everything's not so flat.
Yes. Yeah, and I think as humans we respond to those natural textures, even if we don't know, like consciously.
So is this Epson workforce like the standard? Is this just like what everybody has?
Yeah,
I mean,
Greg Lopez was just saying he had it for about 5 years. The 13 by 19. That's pretty sick.
and they're
'Cause I've
nice
got-
because they can print 11 by 17.
Yeah, I've got an Epson, but it's an Eco Tank, and it's a large format photo printer.
How is that? Do you like the Eco Tank?
I love it. Yeah, so is the Workforce a laser printer?
It's still toner.
Okay, so it's a laser printer.
Okay.
The Eco Tanks are inkjet, so it's actually like liquid ink versus the
Yeah,
colored powder toner.
it's like this ink right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's really good for like doing your own like high quality photo prints and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also capable of printing large, or if you wanted to do a zine or a mini comic. It's just a lot slower, but I think it's like the Eco Tanks are really affordable. I barely have to refill mine.
Yeah, we have the
I
same
haven't
thing you
had
do.
it.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
I think I have like a level down of what you have, Max. But
Yes. Yeah.
I
You
love
just
it.
can't print. You can't print big.
Yeah, that's the only thing of mine.
Yeah. But it doesn't have an 11 by 17 scan bed on it. It only has
No.
a legal size. It has an 8.5 by 14.
Need that extra bump, you know?
Yeah, that's why we have our old scanner / printer. It barely works, but it does have an 11 by 17 scan bed, so we pretty much just use it for that.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
I watch. Do you guys know Terry Moore? We did like Strangers in Paradise,
yeah.
and Rachel
Oh,
Rising,
yeah.
and all that.
I'm
He
reading
does
his How to Draw book right now.
Yeah. Oh, his stuff is so good. But he does a show every Sunday called Studio Sunday, and he's had the same like 11 by 17 scanning flatbed like since the 90s.
It's amazing. And if you can make something last that long, then yeah, do it. Like that's the whole thing. You just need it to serve its purpose, you know?
Yeah.
You don't need to have anything upgraded about it, really.
No,
300 DPI is 300 DPI.
that's right.
So
My daughter's singing Frozen in the background.
I was saying your
beautiful,
daughter's
man.
so cute. Too. Yeah, it's so adorable. I was just listening to that. So cute.
Well, she's a little performer. She's gonna love chorus and all that stuff when she can finally do it.
Oh my gosh, that's cute. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad that like she's so into music and stuff too. Like because every little kid has a xylophone and like a little toy guitar and stuff like that and drums. And sometimes she'll just sit down in the living room and say, "Daddy, make a band with me." And I'm like, "Okay, what do you want me to play?" And she'll bring me over her guitar and she'll play the xylophone. It is cool.
That's sweet. That's super rad.
I hope that she continues to like creative stuff because like that's my dream is to like collaborate with her on like comics or music in some way.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool.
Hey, last panel. Ab movie. I see you. Come on up. Jump on me. Yeah. It's like, okay. Not my computer. I have to like kiss my cat until he's happy, and then he'll like lay down, or else he'll just keep headbutting me. If anyone's been on an interview with me, you've probably seen that. Workforce is inkjet. It can scan and print up to 13 by 19. Gosh, that's cool.
Oh, okay. So I was wrong in the type. I just plug in the thing it tells me to plug in.
Yeah, it's. I work at an office supply shop / copier provider,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's the average person does not know the difference between like a laser printer and an inkjet printer. They do make it really confusing. So
yeah, one thing that they did, and I stupidly did this, and I knew not to, is they keep asking you to update the firmware, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I did buy I had some third-party cartridges which worked just fine. Then they updated the firmware and they didn't work anymore. It's like,
No
did.
way.
But not the end of the world.
What time is it? Oh, 1:47? Nice. I am getting hungry.
I feel you there.
Yeah, really quick before we start wrapping up stuff and doing our plugs and everything, I'm just gonna tell you guys one more time about, backing the first Comics Wellspring Kickstarter that just received projects we love. So hyped about that. We are so close to our goal of 3,000. We're just like 750 away. So every single backing helps, every pledge matters, digital, physical, anything you could swing. We have some really cool goodies we're going to be announcing for every backer that helped us out with this campaign. So stay tuned for those announcements once you back and see the updates. But dude, everything from like, man, you could get the digital physical edition. You get your name and your book listed in the book for everyone to see and look up once it's out. We have a rad foil edition because that's just what we do. We teamed up with a Wham stand on a cool killer Wham stand, and we just love Moose. He's going to be on Inspired Ink soon. We have these trading cards we're putting into production as well. They're like Magic the Gathering CWS trading cards, which are going to be a lot of fun. We got a tier for retailers and educators. You get 5 copies, and we're going to be throwing in some extra goodies and incentives for those as well. Really happy about that package. We have the family pack, which is one for everything. Perfect. If you're trying to get some packages for your kids, you get 2 of the supply packs, 2 of the guidebooks, 2 of the workbooks, and then you also, it's the family pack, so you get 10% off your orders from CWS for a whole year. So a lot of cool stuff we're doing right now. Really just trying to hit that finish line. So close to it. Every share helps. Everything helps. You know how good it's a Kickstarter. We've all done them, guys. And we're really happy about this. So help me in my job so I can continue doing these things and support panels. That's how I'm guilting everyone. You know how you have to find a way to guilt people into like backing your stuff? I'm like, well, if you want me to keep my job, guys, like it's just support this Kickstarter. you like doing me doing this stuff, then please. Yeah, so hyped about that. It's just been a fun project. It's the biggest Kickstarter I've personally done as well. I've never done a goal of 3,000, which is really why I have anxiety. But Apollo ones we do 1,000. Our biggest one was 2,000. So we're trying some of those big boy numbers and seeing how we can land them. So there's that as well. But yee hee hee hee. So hyped about it. Well, while we are giving shout outs and all that type of stuff, Aaron, do you want to just let us know where we could find you, what you do, anything you're up to,
Yeah,
events, anything?
yeah. You can find me at Pens and Pedals on Instagram and Blue Sky. I'm pretty active on both of those. I also have the Pens and Pedals Etsy store, which is all those words all spelled out. The last little book that I made here is Was It the Robot First Snow? It's like a 10-page little vignette story. I've been talking about those short stories, so doing that. And it's got tons of extra artwork by other folks like John Osborne art. He does a book called Franconaut, I think, which is like a Frankenstein astronaut. We got Ian Cinco drop by. I've got a piece by him in here.
Ooh, well, let me put a spotlight on you too as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the thing I say is like if you hate my work, then there's tons of work by other people who you might like the great Ian Cinco who did this piece for me. John Burkett. I don't know if you've had a chance to
Oh,
read
I
his Pale
love
Star.
John. Yeah, dude, John's awesome, dude. That's so sick.
I like I got to get paid a few more times, but I'd love to get another piece from him. Like just cannot believe the quality of his work. Morgan Herron, Ben Perkins.
Nice.
Like
We're
all
having
these
Morgan on next week.
Oh yeah, like all these longtime internet friends, getting them to do stuff. Alexis Zarit, if you like Space Riders, he did a Wesley for me. Yeah, commissions are a dangerous thing, man. I just saw it. Do you guys know Paul Chadwick? Like from
That name sounds
Concrete,
so familiar.
like Concrete.
Oh,
That book?
concrete.
Yeah, he put up his commission prices, and they are too reasonable. It's so dangerous. But
You
and
should
then
hit up Jeremy John Hansen. He would do a killer
yeah,
Weasley the Robot. Yeah, Jeremy John Hansen's a great dude in comics. We're doing some books together, and he would probably love to be included and stuff like that.
Jeremy John
Yeah,
Hansen. I'll have to look that up.
yeah. He's in the Spilding group chat. You can find him there too.
Yeah. Oh, and then the piece de resistance here is Steve Mannion, who does Fearless Dawn. He did a piece
Oh, cool.
of Wesley stuff for me too, and he's got a short story in the new Heavy Metal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, what do Wesley the Robot and Heavy Metal have in common? Steve Mannion. So yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's so rad. Um, that speaking of heavy metal, they did that whole uproar happened because of seeing their books in shops before backers, but I gotta hand it off to them. They handled that in a great way. I was really worried, being like, man, heavy metal's already just it's heavy metal in again. But I
Yeah.
think they're doing great. I'm really happy. I got to interview Frank Forte way back in the day on Apollo, and I love
Oh,
seeing
cool.
just like the growth and where he's at now. And I probably should have kept up with him more. But really, really happy seeing where heavy metal's going.
Is it
Um,
still up? Your interview with him?
yeah, I'm sure if you type in Apollo City Comics, Frank Forte, I'm sure it'll pop up on YouTube.
Yeah, I
Um,
have to check that out.
that was one of my early interview days it was pre-COVID. So I mean I wasn't even on this side of the country yet. But yeah, it was a good
Yeah.
one. It was a good one. I actually have a
Yeah.
bunch of his Asylum books, I believe. Asylum Press, I believe was
Yeah.
his publishing house. Yeah. Yeah. Really cool guy. I didn't realize how much cool stuff he did, the concept art and all sorts of things. Yeah, really cool
I,
stuff. I'm trying to think of what the movie it was. He talks about it in that interview though, but it
I
was
think he's
just
pals with
mind
Steve
boggling.
Mannion, and that's the connection.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, good people. It's great seeing comics evolve and seeing the right people get hold of stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
I love that. Dom, you have any plugs, any shout outs you want to give? Why don't you show us your work you've been working on?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh wow, man, dude, that's sick.
Yes.
So yeah, tomorrow night, Lyd and I will be tabling at the G Gallery in Soho. It's for art and tacos. There's going to be a lot of great artists there and a lot of tacos. So if you're in New York City, definitely go there. The last show we went to, put on by these people, Art2 Network, was a very lucrative show for artists and just, oh man, just a fun show for art appreciators. Highly recommend it. You can find us at Life on Saturn Comics on all social media and lifeonsaturnart.com.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
man. That looks
Love
great.
it.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on the show, Dom. Love that you're here so often. Love seeing the drawings. Love the hangs.
I
Super
also love that.
appreciative. And then also check out Dom's recent video on starting your first sketchbook, dude. It was so great. I loved it so much. It was very inspiring.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, check out. We have a link to Dom's stuff and Aaron's stuff here in the I always say product description, episode description. Um and you follow them, check them out, support their stuff, support panels as well. Max, why don't you show us what you've been up to and give any shout outs?
Hold on, let me zoom out. I'm just wrapping up the lettering on this piece.
Beautiful.
And it'll be done pretty soon. Maybe we'll see what's happening, Brandon, but maybe we'll hop on this weekend and do a stream so I can finish this.
That'd be cool.
And yeah, prepping for the big local art festivals here. And in the meantime, you can check out some cool sketches and stuff that I've been doing on my Instagram at Art of MF. And yeah,
Love
that's
it.
pretty much it from me.
This is what that's such a big piece of paper, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's big.
Love that. This is yeah, let me see if I could pull out just a little bit. But I penciled. Oh crap. I have all taped up, my bad. Penciled the bottom, went through here, and I'm working on this top panel right here. So super hyped. I made some good progress on this tonight, so I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna knock out this one and just start inking it. And then I have the trade that's gonna go up there. I'm gonna do a cool little Boba Fett gun at the bottom because I did the lightsaber on the other page, and I'll think of the next story and promote it there. I'll probably be posting these up on my Substack, so check out my Instagram teenage_Babylon. Subscribe to my Substack. Check out ApolloCityComics.com. We have a bunch of stuff up there. We have some free like comics right now too, so hit those up. New merch, new T-shirts, new hats. We'll be announcing a really cool Kickstarter in the next couple of weeks that we'll be doing. We're bringing a French creator over to the U.S. along with a UK creator. We have Marie Morgan, who's doing a book called Sugar Rush, and we have Skullhead Comics, who we were just talking about. I just did the cover for him, and he's in the UK in Cambridge. So we're doing our sugar and spice Kickstarter. It's going to be 2 books in one. We have our French black and white kind of manga vibes, and then we have our very colorful Skullhead from England. That's they're just totally opposite vibes. So we're doing one Kickstarter for them both. So please help support that once we announce it. Other than that, check out panels. Support that one. Help me keep on doing what I do by supporting the book. Anything helps. Sharing, just anything. And if you want to come on the show, come on the show. We'll do some lives. If you want to do some lives with me this month, hit me up. I'm down to do some interviews. It's what I'm assigned to do right now. So let's support each other and make it happen. I miss talking to people so much because I've been having to do like work stuff, like actual work stuff. You know what I mean? Like documents and like proposals and things like typing stuff. I like doing the fun, creative stuff. So help me do that by supporting panels. So that's it. Gentlemen, thank you for tonight. It has been a blast. And we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Adios.
There you go.